Hi, this is Scott Carlson with BRIX Real Estate. Thanks for watching my video today. Much appreciated. Did you know that by the year 2050, nearly 14 million Americans will have some form of Alzheimer's or dementia? It's a little scary to think of, that it's growing that rapidly. But I know firsthand some of the challenges that people that care for those individuals uh, go through. Both my uncle, he has dementia, and then my mother has Alzheimer's. So I know some of the challenges that people face. Well, one of the things that I wanted to chat with you today about was facilities and finding the right one. Now, when you're looking at facilities, you want to see what kind of approach does the facility have. When they look at caring for your loved one, is it a one size fits all approach, or is it more an individual approach? You really want to go with an individual approach where they can meet your loved one where they're at now. They might not need as much help now as they will in the future. But things can change and can change pretty rapidly from my personal experience in helping loved ones. Now, another thing is communication is key. And how often are they going to communicate? Is it if something happens? Is it, a monthly email, a monthly call? Is it a weekly? What is the communication like at the facility? Also, who is it that's going to take care of your loved one? So these are some important questions that you want to ask. Also, what kind of stuff is there for your loved one to do? Not just physical. Like, for example, I took when my uncle wasn't as far along in the dementia process, I'd go see him, and then we'd go for a walk around, a local lake. And he really seemed to enjoy that, and we had some nice times together. So that was some really fond memories that him and I had during that time a few summers ago. But so there's not just the physical, but there's also the social. Do they have different events? What's stuff that that your loved one would like? Along with that, what about emotional support? There's a lot of feelings, a lot of stuff going on with your loved ones. What kind of support is there? And then spiritual. What if you're really into a religion or something like that? What kind of support is there for your loved one? Okay. Now, another thing that you want to be asking is what's the layout of the facility like? So for example, is it open where your loved one would be able to walk around, get some exercise? Are they able to go outside? Is there a little space outside? What do the rooms look like? Are they updated? Are they old? Is your loved one able to bring some of their furniture, some of their heirlooms, some of the stuff that they really could help them feel more at home and help the transition go easier? And then also, do they have their own room? Do they have to share a room? So you want to kind of be thinking about these things as you're looking at different facilities. Also, what about the safety and security? What is the facilities offer for that? for example, with my uncle, he's in the memory care unit, and it's not the whole facility. There's also independent living there as well. But in the memory care unit, it's locked doors. So when I go over to see him and I go onto that floor, I have to get buzzed in and buzzed out. So what is there for safety and security? Also, what is the ratio of, the care personnel versus, the residents? So these are all some really great questions that you want to be asking as you start looking, for the best place for your loved one. Now, also amenities. What other stuff is there for them to do? Or are they just going to be in their room watching TV all day? Are they able to get out and do some different activities? Are they able to get out and go to different places? So, for example, with my uncle, when he was not quite as far along with dementia, they went to different restaurants, they went to different places as groups, and they get where they took a bus and they would go to some local restaurants like Perkins and different places. So they got out into the community, so they weren't sheltered just on that floor and never being able to leave or to get out. So these are some important things that you want to be asking and talking about with the facility. Also, what about training? What kind of training does the staff get? Are they getting constant training? Are they not really getting training? What does that look like? So, some other things that you want to be asking. Another thing is, and this comes into play, and it definitely is a part of something that I'm working with my uncle with, and trying to help him the best way possible, is the cost of the facility. Will insurance cover it? Will it be out of pocket? How often do they have a doctor come in and see them? Because they really can't leave to go to a doctor's office. To give you a short, quick story, my uncle was having some teeth problems, so I took him to the dentist, and I'm like, oh, this should be just fine. This shouldn't, not a problem. Well, it did not go well, and as we were leaving, he got a little aggressive with me. I was very surprised, to say the least, and everything ended up fine, and got him back and checked in, and I love my uncle dearly, but it just showed to me that his safety and security is more important than going out and having a doctor's visit or a dentist visit. It's more important that they come in and see him, so he can be taken care of to the best of their ability, but that he doesn't have to leave. So there we go. Thank you for your time. This is Scott Carlson with BRIX Real Estate. And if there's any questions or anything that I can do or answer, please feel free to reach out. I know that, especially if this is your first time, it's challenging. There's a lot of struggles. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to turn to. But please feel free to reach out to me, because when I was going through it the first time, I learned a lot, and I have a better understanding of what to look for and to how to go through this process. And so just please reach out, because my uncle, he's still around. He's towards the end of the dementia, it's pretty much taken over. He can talk, but it makes no sense. And he's lost his interest in food. So the next step with him will be pretty much, looking at either hospice care or, moving him to a different level and, preparing for him, to pass away here in the near future. So I completely understand the struggles. So thank you for your time.